Okay. Hello. This is live. Mic check 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Ah, shit. All right. There we go. What up? All right. It's your boy K-Blao Hood X. Back with another video. I'm gonna knock this video out real quick because I gotta go somewhere. But I promise y'all I was gonna start going live more. And honestly, I didn't really have no material. So I just said I was gonna do this real quick video because this is something I used to study back in the day, and I thought it was really cool at the time when I was studying because it was a way to basically repackage yourself and rebrand yourself. You know what I'm saying? So back in the day, I was studying pickup arts. You know what I'm saying? Because not only was I selling this shit because people was buying it, but I was also intrigued by it because I was captivated by the fact that there was like a 9-step guide on basically how to pick up any woman that you wanted. And I thought this was fascinating in that, you know what I'm saying, most men don't have a foolproof method on how to like approach a woman, talk to her, and you know what I'm saying, basically seduce her. Most men freestyle this shit, you know what I'm saying, off the top of their head. And when you're dealing with women, you know what I'm saying, in pickup arts they teach you, like, women have what's called a hive mind. Meaning that, like, they got their mother, their sister, they got their friends and stuff like this, giving them all these ideas to try on you when you literally be, like, by yourself, you know what I'm saying, with your own philosophies with no type of advice. So, I also was attracted to the notion of, in pickup arts, they had a concept called demonstration of higher value. And I thought this was interesting in that, when I found out what it was, demonstration of higher value, or they call DHV, it's basically, in a nutshell, one second. DHV spikes is like your ability to demonstrate higher value than the next person. So like if I said like, okay, we was in a bar and it was a nice looking woman, you know what I'm saying, sitting over there. Or even if you was a woman and you saw a nice looking man, obviously this is a lot more easier for women than it is for men. But like, you know what I'm saying, in a nutshell, if I'm a man and I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, seduce a woman, it's a room full of men in here, and there's only one woman in here, what could I literally do instantaneously to make her look at me differently as if I have higher value than the other men in here? Whereas like women can do things like they could put on certain perfume, they could poke their tits out, they could poke their ass out, wear a tight dress, put on some real red lipstick, start licking their lips. There's a lot of things that women can do to seduce seduce men, but it's very few things that men know how to do to like seduce women. It's not like a man can fucking, you know what I'm saying, expose himself or, you know what I'm saying, things like this. And that women are attracted to men for different reasons than men are attracted to women. So it's a lot more strategic. You have to be a lot more strategic if you're a man to try to seduce a woman, especially if you got a lot of competition. So that was another thing that intrigued me about the mystery method, and that the concept of demonstration of higher value. And being as a man, having the ability to demonstrate or show that you have value just by your dialogue, you know what I'm saying, without coming across like a dick or a douchebag, you know what I'm saying. Another thing that I was intrigued by with the mystery method was a concept called cocky and funny, which is CNF. It basically means that like the ability to draw people into you by being quote unquote cocky and funny. Basically, like not being so like informational or like, you know what I'm saying, talking about day-to-day things, everything. It's like literally every piece of your dialogue is geared toward, you know what I'm saying, not only demonstrating higher value, but also making the other person, I guess, chuckle or laugh or giggle. You know what I'm saying? You can look this concept up. It's called cocky and funny. So like a lot of the jokes that they tell basically make you have value while making the other person intrigued and laugh at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was funny because me, like, I'm not normally a joke telling person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that like go into a room full of people trying to make them laugh. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like the concept of cocky and funny made me be able to do that a lot more naturally. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. Also, I like the fact about the mystery method was that they had like, what's the word? Like abbreviations for certain situations that would happen in real time. So like they had a concept called IOI, which is indicator of interest. So if you're talking to somebody and they begin to lick their lips or they begin to like flick their, like a lot of times girls will flick their hair or start doing like this with their hair, You know what I'm saying? That typically means that somebody has an interest, an indicator of interest in you. You know what I'm saying? Concepts of man, all types of kino escalation, which means like how you touch a woman, how you begin touch. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it can be uncomfortable, or somebody may not want you to touch them, so they have what's called kino escalation, which is like the art of learning how to touch and like escalate how you touch. I thought that was cool. Also thought like there's a lot of stuff they do. They rate women on numbers, like they got like HB5, HB10, which basically means, you know what I'm saying, hot babe, or sometimes they say hot bitch. You know what I'm saying? And she's a 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. You know what I'm saying? They do like that. So PUA itself stands for Pickup Arts. AFC stands for Average Frustrated Chump. 2 set, 3 set, 4 set. They tell you how many people is in a set that you approach. There are a lot of different ways that like you see these things play out all the time, but you never really put them in a practical, rational sense of your mind. And they're like, it's literally like a video game. You know what I'm saying? So concepts like that, they took basically the courtship phase and broke it down into 9 different steps. You know what I'm saying? And then like you see this all the time, you just don't know what you're looking at. And so like for example, they have a like it's basically 3 steps. So you say like it's 3 phases in the mystery method, and then each one of these 3 phases break down into 3 steps. So all together it's basically 9 steps that broke down in basically in 3 phases. You know what I'm saying? And men need to know this shit, because like men don't know that like to a woman, the way we seduce, it can be very confusing. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if you don't have a game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like you fuck around and get lost yourself, like responding to the shit she doing, and like, I mean, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where the hell is this going? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the mystery method, it give you a direct like path. It's like, okay, this is going from the beginning to, I won't say end, but like goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is moving toward a goal, and this is not just like sitting, you know what I'm saying, and moving in circles. So I hope that makes sense. So like the 3 steps, it goes. Why is my dog tweaking? The 3 steps, it goes attract. What the hell? Right when I get to the point. All right. So the 3 steps, it goes attraction, comfort, and seduction. You know what I'm saying? So the first step is attraction phase. The second phase is the comfort phase. The third phase is the seduction phase. So what you start to realize is that a lot of times men mix all this shit in together. And then like sometimes men try to seduce before they get comfort. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they get stuck in the attraction phase. Sometimes they move backwards from comfort backwards into attraction. And it's like, no, it goes from attraction to comfort to seduction. You don't mix the phases. You know what I'm saying? You literally understand it. Like, okay, there's 3 phases to the attraction phase. There's 3 phases to the comfort phase. There's 3 phases to the seduction phase. If you follow this in order, you will be straight. If you rearrange the order and you start trying to do shit that's in out of order, like 9 times out of 10, you're going to get lost and she's going to get lost. You know what I'm saying? So the first step of attraction phase, I'm just giving you a crash course in this shit. You can look this shit up yourself. You see what I'm saying? The first stage of attraction phase is basically the opener, which is how you basically walk up to somebody and open and begin the introduction. So they teach you a lot of times that say, hey, hi, how you doing? Which you can't do. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be more creative and say something that's a little bit more situational and on the surface. You know what I'm saying? And like has something to do with maybe their appearance, or you know what I'm saying? And you got to be real careful how you talk about these types of things. Like, hold on one second. So you got to be like real careful how you. Wait, damn. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, so I'm trying to get the sound right. All right, so yeah, the attraction phase is like you say something like, "Hey, you might say something about their shoes. You might say something about their hair. You might say something about you know, the style. You know, say you know, for example, in the opening phase, say something like, "Oh man, I seen somebody else wearing that same outfit." Some shit like, mind you, that's just some shit I just came off the top of my head. Or you say, "Oh man, you know, man, that I don't know." Opener is you say all type of shit. Oh, I guess you think you look cute. I guess you think you look hot. Or you know what I'm saying, my sister has those same shoes. You know what I'm saying, shit like this. If I just like, it's just stupid shit just to get the dialogue going without walking up to somebody going, "Hi, how you doing? My name is so." It's like intercepting the conversation instead of like breaking it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a whole table full of people, you know what I'm saying, the way you walk in on like 4 or 5 people sitting at the table, you know what I'm saying, you have to say something that's like, you know what I'm saying, more on the situation. And store, all right, my name is so-and-so, like, you kind of come in like, oh, man, this party is good. Did you see the fight outside? You know what I'm saying? It's a tranny outside fighting. You know, some like, shit like this is just a better way to, you know what I'm saying, to open instead of just coming like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I work for so-and-so, like, you know what I'm saying? It's an opener. That's A1. A2 is basically neg theory, which is like, you're going to start throwing, like, negative compliments back and forth. Neg theory is like underhanded compliments. You know what I'm saying? It's like a compliment wrapped in an insult. So, you know what I'm saying? You say shit like, what else you got going on besides your looks? Or what did you see that on Facebook, or did you learn that on a YouTube video? Shit like this, and they're like, you kind of like, it's like basically you telling yourself, qualify yourself to me, which is A2. It's like, now you're still in an attraction phase, so you're still trying to figure out even if you like this person, because like you have to ask yourself, a lot of times you approach somebody, you think they hot, you think they're attractive, like you still have to work the dialogue in the attraction phase and see, okay, does this person have a sense of humor? Does this person know how to keep a dialogue going? Does this person know, like, you literally qualifying and seeing like, okay, do the brains match the beauty per se? And you kind of test them a little bit, like, okay, basically you ask yourself, what does this person have going on other than they look? Who is this person for real? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, you kind of go into neg theory a little bit, which kind of gets you into that world. And you're like, oh, well, so that's cute. You know what I'm saying? You're not necessarily impressed so easily. You know what I'm saying? That's what A2 is. You can Google a lot of negs. Like, they got a concept called negs. You know what I'm saying? I try not to get too caught there, because like a lot of times people study negs, they can fuck that shit up if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's cocky and funny. It's not just cocky. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people get too cocky in neg theory and they don't know what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? So it takes practice to, like, you kind of cracking on a woman, but like, you know what I'm saying? Not cracking on, oh man, your hair is real nice. I love the way your hair is. Is it real? No? Oh, well, it's still nice. Shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, your nails are fucking perfect. Shit, are they real? No? Oh, well, they're still nice. Shit like this is neg theory. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. Oh, what are you sipping on? Vodka? Oh, well, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Shit like this. A3 is the third level, final level of attraction phase, when you basically say, you merge. So you say like, so where you from? Oh, I'm from the south side. Oh, really? Me too. I'm from the south side. Or you say something like, so what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm into astrology. Oh, wow, me too. I'm into astrology. You know, like you A2 you come apart, you kind of neg. A3 you bring it together. So in A2 you did like this on purpose, because you know in A3 you're gonna connect. You know what I'm saying? But you don't A3 until you actually connect. And if this person don't connect, they might think you a total dick. You might come off wrong in A2. You might completely blow yourself out. Man, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. So maybe you didn't get to A3. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why you gotta be real careful in A2, because you know A3 is coming. You know what I'm saying? Also too about A3, a lot of times people skip A3 and they go straight into comfort. You know what I'm saying? They don't actually connect with somebody before they start going into comfort building. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys skip the A3. You know what I'm saying? If you skip A3, you can still keep going, but you're going to regret it later. Like, she going to get buyer's remorse. And she going to be like, man, this dude is trying to fuck with me. We ain't had no real connection. So A3, you want to try to draw information to try to actually connect. And you'll say, oh, what are you into? What do you like? What type of movies you like? What type of music? Oh, I like that too. I'm into that too. And then you actually, when you make the connection, that's an A3, then you actually move. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh man, you don't go get a drink? Hey, let's move. Or you can even say, step into my office and just take a step to the right. Like, you ain't even got to move far. Like, you can go all the way to the bar. You can go outside. You can go get in the car. You can move. But whatever you do after A3, you move. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you move, you do not have to, like, move. You can literally just say, hey, step to the right real quick and just step over. You know what I'm saying? And then go right in the seat. So you can do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But you just literally have to move. You can't do comfort building in the same place you did attraction building. You know what I'm saying? So you move. So then after you move, you go into comfort building, which is C1. C1, you kind of talk about people coming together, people breaking up. You start talking about like, oh, you know, my boy just went through a huge divorce, so I just had a big breakup. Or, you know, say I just left this wedding today. I was at a wedding today, and these couples getting married. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about, you know, my dad met my mom. You know what I'm saying? He instantly fell in love. Do you believe in love at first sight? Stuff like this. Or you could talk about, man, you know, I want to ask you a female opinion on something, because my brother just broke up with his wife, and you know what I'm saying, she was cheating on him, and blah 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 whatever. Like, you talking about people coming together or breaking up. You know what I'm saying? This is comfort. That's C1. You know what I'm saying? So C2 is basically you start to go into like, hey, you want to get a drink? You want to dance? You know what I'm saying? You want to hit the dance floor? You kind of like doing physical things. Like, you kind of like, you doing something together. You might go do karaoke together right then and there. Or it's like kind of like a date, but like a small date. So, but you're doing something. Like, you might go do fucking, I don't know, fucking miniature golf right then. You see what I'm saying? Or y'all might slow dance, or y'all might, you know what I'm saying, sing the song to a song or something, you know what I'm saying? Or anything. You could even watch a movie together. You see what I'm saying? All this is C2 shit. You see what I'm saying? So, and mind you, during C2, you starting to show interest. You're not legitimately showing no type of legit interest in this woman until you get to like C2, C3, or vice versa. If you know what I'm saying, try to do something. You don't even show no legitimate interest until the end of C2, which brings you into C3, which is like you kind of basically tell us. It's basically the same thing as A3, but in a comfort phase. You know what? I like this. I like you. I think we're starting to form a real connection here. You know what I'm saying? I think we should do this again. You know what I'm saying? This is C3. Or you might even kiss close in C3. Like, you might even get your first kiss. And, like, you're actually trying to connect on a physical level in C3. After C3, just like A3, you move again. You move. So you're going to S1, which is the seduction phase. S1 is the first phase of seduction. S1 is usually in a different location. You know what I'm saying? It may, mind you, all this could happen in the same place, like in the same bar. Like, you might take somebody from right there in the seduction phase, move them over to the comfort phase, right there in the bar, and then move over to another place in the bar. You know what I'm saying? And go into the seduction phase. This could all happen. You know what I'm saying? Typically, they say this whole thing is supposed to happen within 7 to 11 hours, but I've seen it happen within like 2-3 hours. This whole fucking phase. It depends on how you do it. If you do it too fast, a lot of times the woman gonna regret it. So if you do it too slow, same thing, it may not go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of do it how you do it. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into the seduction phase, which is S1, you know what I'm saying? You same thing. You might have a drink. You might you say offer her a drink. You know what I'm saying? You might cut on some slow music, or you might, you know what I'm saying? It's basically like when somebody first walk in your house and you know what I'm saying, you may cut the lights down low. It's things like this. It's like, okay, you starting to set the stage for a seduction. You might unbuckle your shirt. So you might take your shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Or might unbuckle your pants, something like that. But you're not literally going all the way. You're just basically insinuating like, okay, I'm about to seduce you. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, it's less talking. You're not really talking as much too. Like the less talking, the better. You know what I'm saying? So as this begins to unfold in S1, you see what I'm saying? You might hear a little giggling and shit like this, music playing in the background, touching on the leg, keen on escalation, rubbing legs, rubbing thighs. And after this, you go into S2, which is like, okay, you might be fully unclothed. You might start kissing on the neck. You might start kissing, you know what I'm saying? And when you go into instantly S2 is what they call LMR, which is last minute resistance. So what is last minute resistance? So you'd be like, okay, last minute resistance is basically going to tell you slow down. She's like, hey, slow down. You're moving too fast. This is moving too fast. Hold on, slow down, slow down. Like, you know. Now, most men don't know this is coming. You know what I'm saying? When you study the mystery method, you understand, like, this is part of the natural courtship phase. Most men don't realize that, like, a woman's going to tell you slow down. You know what I'm saying? So, when you know this up front, you react differently. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's guys that go to jail over LMR. You know what I'm saying? They're like, guys rape a woman. You know what I'm saying? They get all the way up to S2, and then she tell them to slow down, and then, dude, your heart rate be changing. Dude, dick hard as hell. You do some stupid shit. Like, man, what the fuck you mean? Like, bitch, I done spent all this money with you. You gonna give me some pussy? Like, you know, like, LMR is a very, like, there's been dozens of movies, been dozens of situations of men and women just getting in situations where LMR kick in, and you're like, hold on, slow down. Let's, you know, we don't have to do this. And like you get this type of shit going on in the middle of a seduction phase. So you have to understand this is coming. You know what I'm saying? So they have lots of different ways on how to deal with LMR. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Get up, cut the lights on. Get up to start talking. You know what I'm saying? Pour another drink and just sit back and just start talking. You see what I'm saying? And like 9 times out of 10, the person you're seducing is gonna come to you. You see what I'm saying? If you drag somebody, if you get all the way to that level, you know what I'm saying? Right there, where it's like, oh, so like you about to, you know, literally penetrate, and they say stop. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, okay, no problem. And you're able to get right up and control yourself and, you know what I'm saying, turn the lights on and just start talking, going back into right contact. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be sitting there like, what the hell? Like, he didn't even, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know that you knew it was coming. Like, you know what you're doing. They don't know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? You know what you're doing. They don't know. So like, a lot of times that throws people off. They're like, what the fuck? Like, he's not even trying to, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily go cold. It takes some fucking practice this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? To be able to get up in a situation like in the middle of the heat of the moment and just like, all right, and go right back into S1. Basically, you see what I'm saying? You literally you stuck between like S1 and S2 until they pursue you. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into S3, which is typically sex. You know what I'm saying? So, the last phase is like, a lot of people can get snared right there in S2 and make it all the way to the end and get snared at LMR and then get blown the fuck out of the water. You see what I'm saying? So, like, to me, A3 and S2 are the most important pieces of the mystery method because they're the ones that get skipped the most too. Like a lot of times people skip A3 and a lot of times people forget S2, which is LMR. You see what I'm saying? So those, if you master those two, typically the other ones, you already doing a lot of that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? In the other phases, you know what I'm saying? Just nobody ever came along and put a yellow sticky note on each one of these phases. You see what I'm saying? If you watch a lot of movies, you see these phases too. Like, you start being able to name these phases. You look at a situation of like a guy, you know what I'm saying, just basically kind of flirting with a woman, and it sounds like they kind of cracking on each other. You'll be like, oh, they're in A2. Or you'll see a scene where like a guy legitimately shows interest and he grabs a woman by the chin and says, you know, I'm starting to like this, and he kisses her for the first time. You'll be like, oh, C3. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll see a scene where like a guy and a girl about to have sex, and then all of a sudden the girl start thinking about her husband or her man, and she'll be like, oh, you know, I can't do this, it's too much. And he'll be like, what's the matter, and he'll freak out, and she'll get up and run out the room, and you'll be like, oh, that's S2, that's LMR. Like, you've seen every one of these scenes over and over again in your life, you just didn't know what the fuck you was looking at. You know what I'm saying? So like, the more you study these phases, the more you start to see like, okay, like, this fits here, this fits here, and like, you'll start to know where you at in your relationship too, and then like, you start to see like, okay, is my relationship stagnant? Am I doing the same things over and over again? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not just for somebody when you meet for the first time. Like I said, a lot of this is just being able to demonstrate higher value. This is not about, believe it or not, it's not about picking up women. It's not. Like, it sounds like it is when you teach, but it's not. It's really about demonstration of higher value. You see what I'm saying? That's really what it is. So when you know what I'm saying, you don't have to be, a lot of times men hear this who are already married, and they think they're like, okay, I got to go out and go seduce, you see what I'm saying, a bunch of new women and shit. Like, it's like, nah, you can run this same shit, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship that you already in, and make it better. You know what I'm saying? So it is called pickup arts, but it's not necessarily for picking up arts. It's about you and being able, the ability to demonstrate higher value, especially in social settings and courtship settings. You see what I'm saying? That's what it really is. It's like literally taking your life and making it into a movie reel, where it's like, okay, these are the 9 scenes. How do you want to paint these scenes? Very similar to like a calendar. You know what I'm saying? If you understand the boxes on the calendar, it's the same. It's like your ability to be able to go in there and paint the scene that you want, but in a PUA setting with these 9 boxes, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So this is a crash course on the mystery method. You know what I'm saying? You can do more research on this yourself. You see what I'm saying? If you are, you know what I'm saying, already in a relationship, you see what I'm saying, use this as a way to increase, you know what I'm saying, the passion and the attraction and the value in a relationship that you already have. You see what I'm saying? Don't think that you got to go out and seduce, because like you that shit don't lead to nothing but trouble. Trust me, I've seen it millions of times. Like, a lot of times when I teach this information to men, they end up breaking up with the woman that they with. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times that's why I didn't share this information. But I did want to make this video and put that disclaimer in there, and they're like, don't use this shit the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? Use this shit for a higher value, not for lower value. Don't use this shit on some slick shit, trying to run around and seduce women and play mind games with motherfuckers. It's like, use this shit for like real demonstration of higher value, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out of here, because I gotta go do some shit. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with y'all. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got more videos coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get some momentum going. I got some real good news I want to share with y'all coming up pretty soon. So I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Love y'all. Take it easy. You